Greetings everyone. Hope everyone is having an amazing day. This is 50th day of my 100 days .NET Learning Challenge and day 5 of my .NET MAUI Learning Challenge. And today we're gonna try to implement a button by which we can import the actual music from our file storage, and hopefully we will be able to play at least some kind of music. So I want to mention something about .NET MAUI, which is the more and more we're getting into the native stuff, the harder and harder it is. Sorry, my coffee mug just fell. Pardon me, guys. So I wanted to mention that the more and more we are getting into the native stuff, the harder and harder it is getting to actually find the documentations and everything. Um, yes, they have a very good support for the native and everything, but it is still a new framework. But hey, we're not here to give up, right? So hopefully we get to complete the app fully within the rest of the days. And also, without further ado, let's get started. So in the last video, I wrote this piece of code to extract all the music from our file system, only for Android. As we know, iOS does not allow us to access files from the file system. So as I claimed, this is pure native code. One thing that is, it is native code, but it's not pure native code. At least that's what I researched. So what C Sharp does is it transpiles. I don't know, it translates the Java or Kotlin library to its own. So we're using the exact namespace, exact everything, although I never did Android Studio development, so I cannot say for sure, but that's what I researched, is import these same things, and I searched the code for Android native code for this specific task, and the code was almost exactly the same, except this thing, it was all uppercase with underscore dividend. So apart from this, everything was same. So what C Sharp does is I think it takes the same code and rewrite them in their own convention, but necessarily keeps every code the same. However, we can write the pure Android Java slash Kotlin code inside this base, but it will it can be it can be written in our actual source folder. What we will have to do is we will have to write this in our platform specific folder. For example, if we want to write some Java code, this is the Java namespace here, or Kotlin namespace here. So here we can write all the code we want, and then we have to do is we have to connect this with a Java runtime connector in C Sharp. So after using this, it will connect the code with C Sharp and it will run the actual native code. So this is not the scope of like, I don't think I'm gonna do this because that's gonna defeat the main purpose of the incremental learning, right? I don't want to go to that details. So my plan is to actually create a button which will be used to import musics, and only for Android there will be a separate screen which will show all the musics regardless of the picked ones, but in our main screen we're only going to show whichever musics we have picked from the file system. Okay, so this is the approach I was talking about. So here you can see I have added a new button to import music. So iOS does not allow us, as I told you, to import musics to directly read the musics or read any file in our case. So here, what I have implemented is whenever I click the button, it shows us a pop-up to select the music. Let's select couple musics and select, and I've created a debugger here. I put a breakpoint in here. Now, see, we got the files, and that's great. So full path and everything. Then the next step would be we have to check how to take the file result and save it to some kind of storage. So I think it'll be private storage so that we can access the musics later. Now, one thing there is that mm, oh yeah, so I wanted to talk about the iOS emulator because you guys might be thinking, why am I not using iOS emulator? Because for some weird reason there is some kind of bug where when I'm trying to share any file to there or download any file, it is immediately taking me to the contacts and all the files are gone. I don't know why this thing is happening, but this is happening for some reason, which is annoying. So that's why I switched to Android emulator. And also my laptop is getting too much slow. I don't know why. So here, this is the code. Basically, this is pretty simple. We define what type of file we want. We do want. So we want the audio files, and we put all the extensions here. And here, that's the only function actually. Pick multiple async. So the next step would be to try how to move the files or somehow um, transfer the files. I don't know what to do. Let's see. Okay, so this is the final thing that's looking like for today. Here you can see when I run the app, it is playing some kind of sound, although the controls are showing at the notification panel, which should be showing in the app, and that is a good thing. I'll explain you why a little bit later. So I don't know if you guys can hear. There's a clock sound ticking. Now, what I researched is this MAUI uses MediaElement, which is a community toolkit, which behind the scene uses Android XO Player, AV Player, and Windows. And setting up this is pretty easy, although it totally broke my app for once and I had to reset everything. But apart from that, it is just this one where I have to um, put the location of the file system. Now, one good thing about this is that when I select files from the file system, I don't need to copy this to my shared location or something, because as you can see, this thing is already copying this in the cache location. So I don't know how feasible this will be, but for now it is playing, so that's a good thing. Now the next thing is we implemented this functionality, which is, see, I tap on a couple of musics. Let's import these musics, and when I click select, it fetches all the files as you guys have seen before. And now when I play this thing is showing up on the list, so that's a good thing. Now I have copied one of the locations from these files and added it here in a static manner. So here, this is the location. Now the next thing, what I will need to do, what I have planned to do is, whenever user will actually click on the file, it will programmatically play the file, update the slider, and then these buttons will also be working. At least that's what I have in mind in theory. So thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel so that I get motivation to make more videos like this. Thank you.